What up, everyone? I am the Comic Outlaw, coming to you live and loud from parts unknown, hitting you far off in that ozone, gone and mind blown. And we're doing a very, very special edition of Comic Outlaw. We're combining two of my favorite things. We're combining Funkos, Motley Crue, and the mixtape madness, hence the hat. Yeah. And we're going to be doing something a little different for y'all. We're going to be talking about Motley Crue. Yeah. One of the glam rock bands from the 80s. They made a bunch of different good songs. And if you haven't heard of them, I'd get up off your ass and listen to some good time music, if you know what I'm saying. And Motley Crue consisted of Mickey Six, bassist of the band, wrote a fair amount of the songs. Kind of the heart and soul, sort of. I wouldn't say all the way, but, driving force. Definitely leader of the band. Has a new band called 6 a.m. Vince Neil, frontman. Main singer of Motley Crue. Ooh. I hear that somewhere out there calling out. Main singer of Motley Crue. One of the main frontmen with a very high voice. It was very popular in the 80s glam rock scene to have a very high voice. He brought it on. The only blonde in the crew, rest Burnett's. Guitarist Mick Mars. He gives Motley Crue that round sound it is known for. Very good guitarist. And last but not least, Tommy Lee. Which, if you lived through the 90s, he made a very famous movie with Pamela Anderson. And let's just say tapping the drumsticks ain't the only thing that he's known for, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And he was also part of a group called Methods of Mayhem, which was kind of a mix between rock and rap. Not that bad if that's your thing. A few good songs. But moving on, we're going to open these, of course. We're going to do the mixtape madness right now. As you know the rules, 13 songs that I would put in mixtape order. So, first one is 10 Seconds to Love. 10 Seconds to Love. This is one of Motley Crue's earlier songs. Very, a lot of the Motley Crue songs talk about sex. Very dirty, very dank in that sense, and I love that. They had very simple riffs, but it was just nice to just groove to rock to, and that's the thing that I kind of think the 80s covered better than the 90s. You wanted to have a good time. You wanted to go out and do things. As the 90s crept in and the wave of depression set in, it just kind of killed the party. That just ain't Jack Slater's thing, if you know what I'm saying. Ooh. I know what's calling out to me, my yellow ring, because you know that I ain't playing. Gotta throw that on and be strong, if you know what I mean, if you want to belong to the Sinestro Corps. But, not to say any more, 10 Seconds to Love would be the first one. Hell on High Heels. This comes later from a New Tattoo. It has a little band, a little older. It has that it's cool. It talks about the hard-working women on the corners, you know what I mean? Pimping it and slanging it from day to day, trying to make that pay. And one of my other favorites is Knock 'em Dead Kid. Now, this one's from a live album. I like this better than the previous album that it was released to because it had more vibe, it had more kick to it. It's worth listening to. Knock 'em Dead Kid. And, of course, as always, your boy is not Bing. Your boy is in Google. That's why I want you to look these songs up, and I want you to go out and buy the albums. That's why your boy's not giving you a whole lot of information. I ain't VH1. I ain't MTV. Well, matter of fact, MTV isn't motherfucking MTV anymore. And VH1, oh man. Sad nowadays. You have a history channel that gives you history on antiques and really nothing else. You have a music channel that doesn't deliver music. Dear Lord. What's next? A Cartoon Network that plays nothing but dramas like General Hospital. Ooh. Now, this other one's called Wild Side. Take a ride on the wild side. Yep. Great song. Great beat to it. It kind of like talked about the darker parts of California, which was cool because that was the scene that they were in at the time. And it just had that feel to it. It's from the Girls album. I love that album. Just fits Mr. Slater's personality, if you know what I mean. Now, the other one that we're coming up on is SOS, aka Same Old Situation, which most guys seem to put themselves in. And no, I ain't faking, I ain't lying, you know. Sometimes your chick moves on and she doesn't like what you're buying, and she finds another girl in town instead of another boy. You're just left there wondering, may it have been the lack of your toy? Great song. Now, this one's from Generation Swine, Shout of the Devil, 1997. If you heard the original, very good. A little slow. This one's faster, has a harder metal tone. Recommend looking it up. Another one from a later album, Saints. It's from a Face Down in the Dirt with a bullet in my head. Yeah. It's also on a rock band. One of the rock bands was I was real surprised on. I was like, yeah. Something to kick ass and Motley Crue I'm always down for. Great song. Now this one is going to be no surprise for anyone. He's the one they call Dr. Feelgood. He's the one that makes it feel alright. Now we all know what Dr. Feelgood's about. A man, a hard-working man working in the corner trying to make that money. Selling whatever he can. Now, another one, a classic one, is Public Enemy, number 1. It's from one of their first albums. And the thing about their first albums had a lot of cowbell in it. And you actually hear this Public Enemy number 1. You hear the cowbell in it. Tommy Lee Jones loved that cowbell. Or not Tommy Lee Jones, Tommy Lee, sorry. Loved that cowbell for the first album. But it came out really cool. It's a really good song. It has that outlaw feel to it, which you know your boy, the comic outlaw, always loves. And now we're going to go to Home Sweet Home. Yeah, and if you guys seen Hot Tub Time Machine, you're familiar with this song. It's a classic. Burnt out. I need to get home. I need to find a place where I belong after too much partying. And your boy knows how that feels. Every day, all day. Yeah. Now, this one was from their greatest hits album, Bitter Pill. Great song, great melody. And it just talks about her being that bitter pill that he swallows, just kind of breaks his will, sort of, and brings him back from overkill, if you feel what I'm saying, if you know the deal. And this other one, number 12, would be She's Got the Looks, That Girl. It's just that hard, that girl, yeah. I love that song, She's Got the Looks. Now, ending the song is a cover they actually did called Anarchy in the UK. Originally done by the Sex Pistols, but I love the way they do it. They do it harder. They do that. Oh, I'm on Antichrist. They put the Sex Pistols do put the punk in, but they put the metal into it, which is just awesome. And of course, this is my 13 for Mixtape Madness. Of course, I have another one because I know everyone out there is going to say I missed this song and that song. But these are the songs that belong on my mix, if you know what I'm saying. And that's how I get my fix. And I might drop a volume 2 if you're good and you know what to do and push that subscribe button. But anyways, now on to the Funkos. And we're just going to open them in order. Show no favors, of course. And we're going to start with number 70, Nikki Sixx. Oh, he slid right out. Okay. Of course, they're not bobbleheaded. A lot of these rock ones and other ones aren't bobbleheaded, like the Marbles, which I keep saying sucks. But it's really cool. Check it out. Shout at the Devil. This is all from the Shout at the Devil album. Vince Neil, the singer. We're going to open it up and check him out. Ah, they slide right out. Saves your boy the trouble. Like that Rick one that I had a little while back. That was a pain. Look at this. Comes with a microphone stand. You can see the pentagram. When they were down for saying, you know, but for Big Red, they were totally down with that for a while. And then again, they changed their stripes in a way. Now, let's see. We are moving on to Mick Mars, the guitarist of the group. And yes, I am missing the Motley Crue album they did without Vince Neil, called Motley Crue's Motley Crue with John Corabi. They did a wonderful song, Hooligan's Holiday, which would probably be on my second mix if I ever considered making it. But it wasn't Motley Crue. They could have called it anything else but Motley Crue, and it would have been a great band. Now, great song. So let's check out Mick Mars. Said classic Shout the Devil. As you see, comparing Nikki Sixx, guitarist, bassist, singer, and now for the drummer. The man with a thick, big stick of the whole crew. Good old Tommy Lee. And, ta-da. Of course, it doesn't come with his drums because, well, that would just be outrageous, and that'd be a whole nother set that I would have to buy. But overall, these guys are cool little toys to buy. You know, if you want the whole set. They've been releasing, like Metallica, they've been releasing different sets. But this one, I had to have first. Because Metallica, over the years, they've kind of come and gone. They've changed their style so much. And then they go back, and they go back and forth. And nowadays, I think some bands are just trying to be a rehash of what they were. I like that this band evolved. And through the problems, through everything, they got a little harder, but they were always the crew. One thing that I always respect for them. And so this is the Comic Outlaw, doing my mix of Fonko, Motley Crue, and Mixtape Madness. So if you like what I'm doing, then hit that subscribe button, please. Damn, how hard does a villain gotta work? And as always, I will catch you on the flip side. Yeah.